by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Crisis averted. Congress approves a temporary spending bill to keep the government running through the new year. I'm Hannah Doba with the details coming up.
A lot happens on a daily basis at Bozeman Fire Station 1. Coming up, we spend a day with the fire department and take a look at what can be the scariest call they receive.
Talking a lot about some bad weather, bad road conditions this morning. Obviously, winter solstice upon us yesterday. But wow, coming down so gracefully and beautifully this morning, but
right.
There's a
downside to that. That fluffy snow that we're seeing. Here's what it looks like from the iCam up at Georgetown Lake. That light thing that you see to the left is a headlight of a car. Reduced visibility around southwest Montana. You're going to want to take it slow. That's why the National Weather Service is putting a winter weather advisory in effect until 6 o'clock tomorrow, and a winter storm warning for that I-90 corridor up towards Harlot in that direction, down towards Red Lodge until 6 o'clock tomorrow. Those are our highs for today. Temperatures are not going to get any warmer. Snow will fall as much as 3 to 5 inches. Stick around. Coming up in 10 minutes, I have your detailed forecast from the Billion Auto Weather Patio.
Thank you, Chet. Now our top story for you. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill have left themselves some extra work in the new year, approving a short-term solution to government funding. Had they not, the government faced a shutdown at midnight tonight. CBS's Hannah Doba has our story.
These are the last votes expected in the House for the day, the week, the month, and the year.
Before fleeing D.C. for the holidays Thursday, lawmakers in the House and Senate approved a stopgap measure to fund the government for the next 4 weeks, narrowly averting a government shutdown. The bill serves as a short-term extension to the Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP, and provides funding for a veterans' health care provision. The measure also sends $4.7 billion to the Department of Defense. The development came just days after Republicans passed their sweeping tax plan. Some lawmakers expressed concerns about the recent frenetic pace on Capitol Hill.
I've seen people of goodwill of both parties try mightily and so far consistently fail to get us back to regular order and to end this process of moving crisis to crisis.
The House also passed a separate $81 billion disaster relief bill to help Puerto Rico and states like Texas, Florida, and California, recently impacted by hurricanes and wildfires. The Senate, though, voted to delay the measure until the new year.
The emergency response is over, but recovery and rebuilding efforts go on.
President Trump is expected to sign both the funding bill and the new tax overhaul bill as soon as today. Hannah Doba, CBS News.
Now the bill fund government goes through January 19th. News a little bit closer to home. A former Butte woman, Butte Central graduate, was killed earlier this week in Spokane, Washington. MTN's John Amy spoke with a family member about this tragedy.
A family in Butte is dealing with the violent murder of a family member Tuesday evening in Spokane, Washington. 59-year-old Danette Kane was shot to death outside her family-owned apartment complex. Now, I spoke with her brother-in-law, Jim Kilmer, today, who learned some information about this tragedy. He said the suspect stopped at the apartment complex and asked Danette Kane if there were any rooms to rent. She said there were none. The suspect then went to the manager's apartment and asked the same question, and she was denied. Kilmer, who is a former Butte police officer, said he learned the suspect remained in the parking lot of the apartment complex, and when the manager went out to speak with her, the suspect shot and wounded him. That's when Danette ran out to the parking lot to try to help and was fatally shot.
She didn't have a mean bone in her body, and you know, true to her nature, this particular incident, from the information that I have, she's running out to help somebody that's been shot, and that was Danette. No regard for her own safety, she was just going to help.
Spokane police are still looking for the suspect Thursday, who is described as a black woman with short hair in her early 20s or early 30s. Kilmer said the family is devastated by this tragedy.
It's shocking. It's not like someone that just passed away from an illness or something. It's shocking news to get, and you deal with it the best you can.
Now the family is bringing Danette's body back to Butte, where she will be laid to rest. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, John. In other news this morning, holiday travel has begun, and according to TripAdvisor, yesterday and today are the busiest. Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport will see about 5,000 passengers during this busy time of year, with about 60 flights a day. Now, this is the same number of flights that Missoula and Billings have combined. Airport Director Brian Springer says that due to this volume of flights and people, it's important for you to arrive early for your departure.
Getting here that early, primarily because, this time of year the roads can be bad. Different things can interrupt the travel out to the airport. Not to mention if there's weather here and there's any impacts on the flights, that gives people a little extra time to, find alternates and also have the airline help them get them to their destination.
Now, Springer also adds that the busiest day for the airport here is actually January 2nd. That's when most people are landing in the Bozeman area. And the Montana Highway Patrol wants to remind you to be safe and responsible while traveling this holiday season. Montana Highway troopers tell MTN that roads are extremely bad right now. They've asked people to drive safe and to plan some extra time when traveling. Trooper Brandon Uhl says that it's always better to get there late than not at all.
When it's snow like this, you definitely need to make sure you're watching your speed, keeping your space, and making sure you're giving yourself the time and distance to react to whatever may happen on the road.
Now, Montana drivers should also expect to see increased patrols looking for impaired or distracted drivers. AAA will again be offering its Tipsy Toast service. The service available on Christmas Eve through New Year's Eve as well. And it is no secret that being a first responder is a very dangerous job. And in the Bozeman area, the Bozeman Firefighters do everything they can to keep the city and their people safe, especially when this bad weather occurs. MTN's Morgan Davies spent the day at Station 1 to see what goes into being a firefighter and learns how burning homes are no longer their biggest fear for those public servants.
The firefighters start every day by cleaning the fire trucks and checking all of the equipment. After this, they must complete all different types of training, whether it's online or live action. So if they're not cleaning the fire trucks or getting training done, the firemen are responding to a few different types of calls. But one of these is more dangerous than the rest.
So the interstate's one of our scariest things we do. We have very little control over the people coming through there, and they're only there for a short time. So it's, how do we manage that?
Captain Barton tells me that he is more afraid of going to an accident on the interstate than he is into a burning home, due to the cars on the interstate not slowing down around a scene, especially semi-trucks.
A lot of them, and it takes a while to slow down, and they don't always want to slow down.
And this is a problem that happens across the nation. In early December, an FBI agent and a deputy fire chief marshal were killed while working an accident on the interstate in Maryland. So to try and avoid a tragedy like this in Bozeman, firefighters have a system to try and get cars to slow down.
So we're a mile back, a mile and a half back with probably the battalion chief rig, and then we use our bigger engines to actually protect the scene. So we'll angle them so if a car would come in and hit it, protects everybody downstream of that. And then we use flares to try and control that traffic and slow it, and then we try to push them out of a normal lane of traffic onto the rumble strip on the small shoulder on the median side, or off onto the shoulder on the right hand side. And it's all about making them slow down.
According to Montana state law, as a driver, you must slow down to 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit and move into the far lane. It may save someone's life. In Bozeman, Morgan Davies, MTN News.
Now, if you'd like to read the entire state law for driving near emergency vehicles, of course, visit us online. We have to take a break in a moment, but when we come back, some therapy, and we're talking pie therapy.
The
Learning how to
art
deal
of
with your
baking
emotions.
a holiday treat can improve your mental health. I'm Danielle Nottingham in Santa Monica, California, at a cooking class that offers more than recipes.
Ahead here on CBS This Morning, how does the new tax plan impact everyday families? We asked an accountant to run the numbers for 3 different families. And a warning from Oprah to her fans, how scammers are using videos of her to try and steal your money. See you right at 7.